Everyone to, okay, welcome to the DSI and how to help the environment workshop. So Makena and I both made this together, except Makena has a sore throat, so I will be speaking about this for today. All right, so let's go on. So bro, dude, what is the DSI? Well, thank you for asking, Audrey. So the DSI is called the District Service Initiative. So basically, it's an annual service initiative, or sorry, theme that a CKI district focus on for the term. So if you recall, CKI kind of delves into three things. So if you look over here, I hope you can see my mouse. This is Circle K International. So this is our org. And Circle K International delves into CNH Circle K. So CNH Circle K is California, Nevada, and Hawaii, and this is our district. And that goes into us, CSULB CKI. So we are a club. So we are a collegiate club that is part of the CNH district, which is part of Circle K International. So yeah, the DSI is related to the district because CNH CKI sets our specific DSI. And since we are part of like CNH, we follow it. So for example, some like last year's previous DSI was focusing on education or children. I'm pretty sure it's education. But anyways, the theme basically changes every year. So this theme is serving our environment. So it means that our theme will be focusing on combating climate change, conserving natural resources, and promoting green activism. So yeah. So let's go into, dude, what is the climate change? Well, glad you asked, Audrey. So climate change is basically described as a long-term change of temperature and typical weather patterns in an area. So why is this really scary? It's because temperatures are hella warming and precipitation is hella changing. So why is this bad? Well, you may not notice it on a day-to-day experience. You're just like, dude, California's hot today, or dude, California's cold today. But you know why this is bad? It's because temperatures will change gradually. So even though you may not notice like a daily change, 10 years from now, the weather will be more and more like volatile. So it's not consistent, and that is super scary. It's scary for our agriculture. It's just scary for our own lives in general, and it is super scary for the environment because, you know, when there are warmer temperatures, icebergs will melt, and what will happen? Water levels will rise, and what will happen? We are screwed. Is what's going to happen. So yeah, climate change is being heavily expedited by what we do in our daily basis. So I'll talk about it a little bit more, but yeah, we're just increasing our consumption of our resources and really pumping out pollution. So this global warming leads to detrimental short-term and long-term effects on our habitats and ourselves. And it is up to you. That's right, you and me and everyone else around us to change that from oh, okay. Welcome back, Diane. All right, so I'll continue. So dude, what can you do to help? Well, you can do 5 easy things. You can change your lifestyle. You can apply for impact teams. Now let me say that again. You better apply for impact teams. You can volunteer. You can donate. That was 4 and I said 5. Let's pretend I said 4. All right. So what can you do? Well, you can change your food habits, and this will help your lifestyle. Why? You can eat less meat. So why are we focusing on less meat? Well, I know you love eating your beef, your pork, your chicken. Pretty sure that's all the meat available. But you know what happens? Growing meat, or ergo like growing animals, takes a lot of space, and it also produces a lot of methane gas. For example, feedlots with cows, if everyone just did not eat cows, basically, if everyone just like ate chicken, our methane gas would be cut in half. And that is because the feedlots used to raise cows heavily increases our methane gas. So yeah, farm animals are mostly raised on factory farms where they're treated in inhumane ways. It's also like for ethical reasons, right? So I don't know if you guys ever watched the slaughterhouse video, but it can be pretty gruesome. At the end of the day, these animals also kind of deserve a right to life, and the way they're being treated from birth to consumption is super terrible. And yeah, we'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. So yeah, some other ways to change your food habits is to grow your own food. So what do you mean grow your own food? you don't even know how to cook your own food. Well, number one, you can start learning from your parentes, or you can start learning from me, but all I can teach you is ramen. Or you can start learning how to grow your food first. So let's start with step one. So growing your food is super easy. Okay, not super easy, but it's like easy enough. So there's something called urban farming, which is using the resources we have available to grow your farm. So what does that look like? Well, have you ever walked around? Yeah, you did. Of course you did. Everyone walks around, especially now. So you know how there are like sidewalks and then there are like random spaces of like grass? And like there's nothing on there, it's just grass. Well, did you know that you could actually turn that grass into gardens? Yeah, everyone has the ability to do that. It is not illegal to turn it into a garden. And like you could just start like building your own community gardens, or you could just go to your backyard and start making your own potatoes, your own tomatoes, your own chilatos. I tried to combine that, but you know what I mean. So yeah, why is this good? Well, all right, so it's not written here, but basically there is a lot of space, especially in Los Angeles and cities like New York, where a lot of farmland is available if you combine all those like random spaces together. So for example, have you ever like walked around and see like random empty lots? Those can be easily turned into community gardens. Or if you start adding up all the random plots of grass on your sidewalk walks, that was redundant. You start to see that you can grow a lot of food in your limited space. So yeah, do that. Let's continue. Wow, wow, wow. What is another way to help the environment? Dude, you can reduce your usage. So what do I mean by that? Well, there's a vehicle called a car and it goes vroom, vroom, vroom. But you know what that car does? That car, unfortunately, is part of transportation, which leads to about 28.2% of our total greenhouse gas emissions, at least from the US. So first, what is like greenhouse gas emission? So basically, your car, as you're driving, is producing things like CO2, right? And what that does is that it hurts the like atmosphere. And what happens is basically the part of the atmosphere that protects us from like violent light from the sun is basically thinned out. So think of the atmosphere as like your shield. Well, dude, basically what's happening is that your shield is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So what happens? Basically everything that is bad affects you even more so because your shield is just not there. So how do you reduce your usage, dude? Well, you could carpool. And Circle K likes to carpool because half of us can't drive. So you're like doing that step already. Now you just have to increase it more. Another way you could do it is to utilize a proven liquid fuel catalyst. So I'm honestly not too sure what that is, but basically, like from my understanding, since I don't really understand cars, is you're basically changing like how to make your car more fuel efficient. And it shows like greater positive effects on the air quality when people do this. So yeah, why not do it? It's also very good to maintain your vehicle. I mean, you should do it for the environment, but also you should be doing that for you already. So yeah, that includes doing routine checkups for tire pressure, regular oil changes, avoiding excess acceleration or braking, and minimalizing idle time. So what is idle time? Well, it's basically when you let your car run, but you're not going anywhere. You're just letting the car run. Like, why would you do that? Number one, you're wasting gas. Number two, you're hurting the environment. So you should do number three and turn it off. All right, so moving on to part two, water usage. All right, so the US Geological Survey estimates that 1.7 trillion gallons of water are wasted every year. That is a whole lot of water. I can't even imagine that much water, but it's a whole lot of water. So how do you help the environment, dude? All you have to do is stop letting your water run mindlessly. So have you ever brushed your teeth? I hope the answer is yes, because if it's not, I would be concerned. But anyways, if you're brushing your teeth and you're just letting the water go on and on and on, that's wasting water. So what can you do? All you have to do is turn the tap off when you are brushing your teeth and turn it on when you are doing the, what is it called? Rinsing your mouth, that. Or like when you're watering plants, just fill up until your like water can is full. You don't have to like keep on letting it run and then going back and forth. Just go back to fill it up after you empty out your water can. Or yeah, when you're washing your cars, you don't have to like drown your car in water. Yeah, just use as much as you need. So yeah, it's also helpful to like Washing your clothes only with a full load. Don't do it if you only have like 3 dirty clothes. That is like hella wasteful. Also, you better just like hand wash at that point because it is faster and it saves so much water. Try to shorten your showers and keep it under 5 minutes. Honestly, that can be hard and easy for some people. I really recommend 5 minutes. It's really possible if you just like don't think and just shower fast. but if you can't do it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes works too. Basically, just keep your showers slow. I mean, no, keep your showers fast. Yes, keep it very fast. Right. So what else can you do? You can check for leaks. You can check for plug sinks. You can install low flow shower heads. So what is a low flow shower head? Well, basically if you shower, you notice you can like turn your shower head and then it increases or decreases the intensity of like how much water goes out. So if it's a low flow shower head, it just means that less water is coming out at a time. So yeah, it's really helpful for conserving water. It's also probably helpful for your head because if you ever had those like high intensity showers, they like give me headaches sometimes. So yeah, you can have like a slow, soothing shower. Also, as I said before, opt for hand washing. Trust me, it's hella faster, hella more conservy, just good. All right, moving on. All right, what should you do? You should be choosing reusable stuff. So let's go into the why. Well, it's nicer to do, like if you have the choice, just try to always go for reusable items. So for example, you are a thirsty boy or gal or you're a thirsty person, all right? And thirsty people need something called water. So where do you get your water from? Well, you could be bad and you could get it from the plastic water bottle, or you could be very good and invest in something called the hydro flask, that thing. And you know what happens? You can refill that flask over and over again. And you know what happens? It probably stays with you for like years. So that is very good. That is what you should do. Also, it is a superior financial option for cutting costs and reducing personal spending. So it's like a win-win for you and a win-win for Mother Nature. So yeah, some more stuff into like how you can do it. You could buy in bulk. So this is like you going to Sam's Club or Costco. Instead of buying like a few things at a time, just buy a lot. And also you get discounts when you buy in bulk. It's also good to buy products with less packaging. If you've ever seen Amazon is crazy and sends you like things like fully wrapped in plastic, even if you're ordering something like a book and they're just like, here, let me give you a lot of plastic. Like, dude, let's not do that. Let's be like Amazon, stop that. So yeah, you should also be looking into renting and borrowing single-use items. So this is like your movies or your books or yeah, stuff like that, basically. So you could go into a place called the library. Unfortunately, we are under the quarantine, but there's an app called the Libby app. And what can you do with that? Well, if you have something called a library card, all you have to do is type in your library card and you get to borrow virtual books. So yeah, it's really good. Instead of like spending your money to like get all these books, you could just go to the library and get it for free. So yes, continuing. Why should you choose recycling? So we went to the reuse, let's go to the recycle. So recycling is really good because it prevents harmful processed materials from entering landfills. So this is like stopping your plastic bags like immediately going into like your landfills. Like for example, I come from an Asian household and my Asian mom loves to collect those plastic bags. Like we have an entire drawer full of plastic bags, and before like we throw out those plastic bags, we always use it as our trash can. So why would you buy like plastic bags from like Costco when you like get them already from like your stores? So yeah, just try to recycle things, dude. So yeah, it's really good for helping these items be broken down to their raw materials. So if you ever collect like plastic bottles or plastic anything, you'll notice that you can go to recycling centers and what they do is they give you money, MONEY, for recycling your goods. And why is that good? Basically, they just take your junk and they turn it into something that is not junk. So yes, that is what you should do. So yeah, to make you like more aware of it, it's really good to pay attention to proper recycling procedures and try to contact your local stores and orgs for information on how to recycle non-traditional recyclables. So yeah, I'm not big brain enough for that, but if you contact your local stores and orgs, you can find out how. move on. So, hello, everyone. I hope you're paying attention. You see that title? It says impact teams, all right? I want your name right next to it too. All right, so impact teams, passion and togetherness. I'm pretty sure Makena wrote that. All right, so let's go to the why factor. So why should you do an impact team? Well, you've already heard me scream about this for like months, but an impact team is super cool because it is dedicated to a choice, a topic of your choice. And why is that good? It means you can create your own projects, you can work at your own pace, and you have the support of board, but we don't control you. You control yourself. So how do you do that? Dude, all you have to do is wait for the first of each month and for 7 days. So for example, November 1st to 7th or December 1st to 7th, you can fill out the team application and the proposal form. So it's super easy. You're basically just gonna give us a rundown of like what you're planning to do, what you're interested in doing, and who you think like might benefit from whatever you're doing. So yeah, if you ever wanted to create, I don't know, like in community garden at some point and like, maintain it, that could be you. So yeah, apply. So now we're gonna move into some organizations. So on the left, we have Habitat for Humanity. So Habitat for Humanity basically makes affordable housing for low-income areas, and sustainability is definitely one of their goals. So they try to build new homes, but they also try to preserve existing homes. So if you ever see like some homes kind of just like deteriorate, like you see some tiles fall off and people are like, nice, and they like don't do anything. Well, Habitat for Humanity is like, nah, dude, let me fix that tile for you. Yeah, it's super cool. So if you notice, I put the QR codes here. So these are QR codes to donate. So if you literally just grab your phone and you scan it, it will take you directly to their donation page and you should be able to donate money to them. So for Habitat for Humanity, they are open to receiving housing materials. So I don't know, it could be like wood, be like bricks, be like steel. Yeah, stuff like that, or just like straight money, and the money goes into helping families and volunteers like build their homes, as well as like purchasing resources. On the right, we have something called the Wildlife Conservation Society. So basically their goal is to protect wildlife from dying out and to protect wild places like the Amazon. So they're really focused on policy. So they're hoping to pressure politicians to really care about the environment and to really care about animals. And how they do that is they continuously send emails, continuously like pour money into politicians that are interested in their values, and yeah, just continue trying to enact policies that are helpful both in the US but also worldwide. So yeah, if you go scan their QR code, you get to donate to people who will help advocate for you. So let's continue. So we also have the Ocean Conservancy. So their goal is basically like the wildlife goal, except they want to like help protect the ocean specifically. So if you notice, like we have the Save the Beach in-person event. So they basically do some of the same things, like they try to conduct solo or small group cleanups. So yeah, if you were like ever interested in like starting up your own cleanup, you literally just have to like message them and they'll be like, "Aight." And yeah, their goal is also focusing on advocacy. So they're trying to enact the Save Our Seas 2.0 Act and defend the NEPA. I forgot what that stands for exactly, but basically the point of that is to protect our oceans and basically try to end tragedy of the commons. So education for you guys. Tragedy of the commons, what is that? Basically in our oceans, they're not really governed by any specific country. So there are no real rules. Like that sounds absolutely terrifying. Do you know why? It's because if there are no real rules, there are no real consequences. So what does everyone do? They all try to get the same resources. And why is that bad? Well, let's say me and Makena are entering in a battle, right? Let's say there's like a lot of, there's a lot of donkeys around, all right? And the person who wins collects the most donkeys. Well, if there are no rules for like how many we can get at a time, we're just gonna keep on like trying to best each other and grab all the donkeys, right? So we're not gonna care if like Makena only has 2, like I'm gonna grab all of them, or he's not gonna care if I only have like 1, he'll be like, I'll grab all of them. So yeah, the tragedy of the commons occurs when like all these countries are trying to fight each other for resources, and because there are no consequences, they end up really depleting our resources because they're grabbing so much. They're not like waiting for fisheries to like rebirth new babies basically. And like they're not caring if they're like leading to like reef bleaching. They're just like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. So that is super bad, and we need laws to regulate that. So yeah, they also take part in climate action and try to protect the Arctic. So on the right, we have the Citizens Climate Lobby. So they're an international grassroots org that tries to also help with advocacy, but more specifically, they try to train everyday people like you, me, Olive, I guess, Hannah. Like they basically try to train everyday people into like encouraging their own local communities to care about advocacy and also care about like local politics. So not just like I don't know, not just like the Congress or Senate. Like they try to get people like the Long Beach mayor to like really think about ways to help protect the environment and like enact policies in your own hometown. So yeah, it's super cool because they train people like us, and they also try to advocate for politicians that care about their values. So yeah, moving on to our last one. So it is our very own EDF, otherwise known as the Environmental Defense Fund. So if you guys don't know yet, this is our DFI for the year, and our DFI is our district fundraising initiative. So basically, since our DSI is on the environment, so is our DFI. And so the EDF is a program that focuses on advocacy and research. So they try to work on topics like including like global warming, the ecosystem restoration, oceans, and human health. And I like their slogan, like they find solutions using science, law, and economics. And if you notice, like those three are very interconnected. So yeah, they try to educate the general public about like certain things that are happening on in the environment. They try to like advise politicians to enact certain laws and try to really think about like what's the most cost benefit plan that we can do to help protect the environment, but also not to make our nation like suffer like too many financial consequences. So yeah, if you like donate, it is the QR code on the right hand side. And yeah, that basically concludes this DSI workshop. And I hope you guys were able to gain more information on our DSI and feel really encouraged to, you know, apply for impact teams for the 5th time, because that'd be very cool. So yeah, thank you everyone.